I can't hear you. Is it me? Is it you? Okay. Oh, you on the phone?
Oh, Guten Tag. No, I muted myself and forgot to unmute.
Not Guten Tag. Don't play with me. Ich spreche ein bisschen Deutsch. Don't play.
Okay.
Don't play with me. I went to a German bilingual school from kindergarten to 8th grade, and then took some more classes in high school and my easy A in college. All righty.
Well, we get
Another fun fact.
okay.
How are you? I feel like it's been forever.
It is. Where was? You have to tell us how your conference was.
Oh, I told you I went. Well, the meeting after the meeting, we will definitely discuss Mr. Whistleblower. It's a whole thing. He was a whole whistleblower attorney there.
Oh, see, we need his info.
I got it.
All right.
Wait.
It's time to get paid. Okay?
I got the card and everything. Sorry, I got it all. The slides, the card, the conversation. He had a whole little session. He wasn't on like a main presenter, but there's he was a exhibitor, and they have an exhibitor session in between the what is it? The breaks. So they had in between the breakouts, there were break sessions. And so I don't know how you get it, but a handful of presenters were able to get on that exhibitor stage, and he was one of them. And very interesting. I can't wait because I got stuff for you. All I could do, I'm taking copious notes. All I can do is think about you.
Well, and before we start, I'm loving the updo.
Thank you. The way I had it before was allowing me to take it down and it be curly. So I took it down when I went, and then I put it in a little thing because I was trying to eat and it was in the way, and I was like, I can't eat, and this is a problem. So, well, thank you, appreciate you. All right. Let's see. Good morning, Carolyn, our newest Patreon tea sipper. Yes. So yes. Who's given us some additional things that we're gonna talk about in the meeting after the meeting. So I don't know. Sorry, I don't even know how. I got to get you into something where you can. I know how to do it. Never mind. I'll get you in. Because I think you were missing some stuff when I be posting stuff, and so
I probably am.
Yes. I think we're gonna have to get you. Good morning, Tanika. Good morning, Renita. Hey, everybody's coming in. Say hi, everybody. Let everybody know you were here. This is gonna be fun today. I already feel it in my spirit. All right. Well, let's get this party started. Welcome, everybody, to our Saturday morning tea, where we discuss health information, news, education, certification tips, key 10 whistleblowing, and entrepreneurship. And standing 10 toes down on we said what we said. That's the other thing. All right. It just all things revenue cycle at large. And so as you come in, don't forget to hit the thumbs up or like button. We would appreciate that. That helps us expand our reach and get into the eyeballs of folks who probably need to hear what we got to say, right? Right. All right. I'm Clarice Warner, the girl with the pearls, the founder and senior education director of the Professional Reimbursement Network, LLC, where coding education is key. PRN is a healthcare compliance consultancy located in Cincinnati, Ohio, that specializes in revenue cycle and regulatory compliance in education. Now, let me ask you, do you know what it takes to be a certified marketable medical coder? Do you? Well, even if you think you do, let me, before I introduce my co-host, let me share with you information on a free 99, yes, free email course on the 5 steps to become a certified marketable medical coder. Are you interested in medical coding, but not sure where to start and scared of wasting time and resources? Let me help you with the right steps to become a certified marketable medical coder. Learn more at bit.ly/5stepscoder. Hey, okay. So if you're interested in getting more information about the 5 steps to become a certified marketable medical coder, then check out and you weren't able to write down real quick the bit.ly link, check out the information in the video description. So today, joining me is my illustrious co-host, Mr. Jesse, the registered trademark. Put some respect on his name, the coding nurse. Sir, introduce yourself and tell the folks all about you.
Hooty hoo, everybody. My name is Jesse. I live in Philadelphia. I've been in healthcare for a mighty long time. It's been 30 years. And in 2014, I transitioned away from direct care into the health information management space. And in 2020, I created a company, the Coding Nurse LLC, where I help nurses and other people in healthcare with a clinical background transition into the wonderful world of HIM.
And how is all of that going for you?
It's going pretty well.
Okay.
I have some stuff for us also for the meeting after the meeting. But
Uh
I can share this. So I met
okay.
with Papa Smurf. So
Oh,
he was like, "Oh, I like your background." So because I finally started using this background when I meet with him.
okay.
So he was like, "Oh, I see your name in those little circles." I said, that's my logo, sir." Those little circles.
Boy, y'all and your logo.
Yeah.
Oh my God. That is hilarious. So he's coming around, I guess. He's coming around.
Yes.
That is funny. I love it. Oh, goodness, goodness. I didn't get a chance. I haven't reached out to Smurfette again yet, but the other program that I'm in, I did reach out to her and we're going through QuickBooks, and so she's teaching me, giving me a whole QuickBook tutorial and education. Um, even though I have a desktop version, I guess they're not supporting the desktop version. You know, everybody want a subscription, and yeah, they're pushing everybody over into the subscription world. So um,
Well, you'll have to share because I need to get with QuickBooks because I I I need to get better with my record keeping.
I, sir, don't we all? Now, I use an Excel spreadsheet. I use my Excel spreadsheets to keep track of clients and students and all of the things, but this was just a way, I guess. Hopefully it will be seamless with taxes and all of that. And um, I know we're doing some things with government contracting, but also if I ever swing my hat over into grants and that kind of thing, which I'm interested in doing as well, you definitely would need to pull some documentation together, and so hopefully this will make those endeavors seamless. So I'm trying to
Uh,
prepare, get ready, so I don't have to get ready, stay ready, so I don't have to get ready. So
I'm I don't understand. Well, I do understand what it is because when I had a job where I had to travel, we use Concur.
we did too.
And it's so easy. You could either do it on your phone or scan it, and you just do a little click and upload your document and put it
Yep,
under whatever category,
yep.
and you're done. And I'm sure QuickBooks is the
They
same,
have
but
the
I just
same
have to
thing.
sit down and do it.
Yep, yep.
And when it came to my job, like I did it because I wanted my RHIA, I wanted my per diem back. But
Amen. Amen.
so I just need to get with it. That's all.
Yeah. Okay, let's see. Say good morning, Tamara. Good morning. Good morning. Okay, I think I got everybody. All right. So, before we jump in, let me remind some of you and inform others that you can join in and add to this conversation. So we bring the topics and we bring the information, and of course we give our spin and our take on it. But this is a conversation, so feel free to add in the comments. Don't be shy. Your opinion matters and is always welcomed here, either whether you with us or against us. You can have your say right here on our platform. So just remember to use the chat. And if you have a question, please type Q first so that we actually know it's a question and we don't miss it. Um, Again, for those who are just joining us, or hello and welcome to those who may be watching the replay. Today we are talking about Change Healthcare's hack, ransomware, data leaks, and patient care. But first, I am so tickled because I'm so glad I put that little short up there. I was like, see, look at God. Because we said it first. Okay. But first, our church announcements. Let's get into our church announcements. Oh, and I had to share. Oh, wait, let me play this first. Yes, yes, yes. So while I was in Tennessee, there's a museum, the African American Music Museum. Oh, that's too low. I gotta hear the music at some point. Okay. And they have a lot of interactive projects, and it allowed me to make beats and a little song. And so they didn't have an organ. If they would have had an organ, sir, we would have had a whole constructed church announcement music. But I did play with the other AI thing that I looked at the last time we talked. So I got some additional samples that I'll throw out to y'all so y'all can let me know what y'all think about those.
Okay.
Okay, so church announcement number 1. So we just came off of the Health Information Professionals Week, or HIP Week, and I wanted to share a little poem that somebody, they were anonymous, wrote about Ode to the Health Information Professional. In a world of data where records unfold, stand the guardians of charts, steadfast and bold. Health information professionals with keen eyes. They safeguard patient wellness where truth never dies. From medical history stored in files and code to databases vast where codes are stowed, they navigate labyrinths of medical lore where privacy and precision are the core. Anonymizing records, protecting our rights, their expertise shines in compliance's light. Interpreting jargon, translating the charts, they bridge the divide between science and hearts. Through audits and analytics, they draw out trends, informing decisions where health truly depends. They're the bedrock of healthcare's steep climb, ensuring wellness thrives in the course of all time. So here's to the health information crew, whose dedication and skill always shine through. In this realm of data where details are key, they safeguard our health with unwavering glee. Yes, I loved it. I loved it. I loved it. I said, well, somebody better sum up what we do in a poem. Loved it. So that's the Ode to the Health Information Professional. If anybody wants a copy of that, I can definitely show you where to go to get it. Or I can email it to you. Or I can post it in the meeting. I can post it in the Patreon. How about that? That's what I'll do. Post it in the Patreon so all my Patreon people can get it. All right. The second announcement I had. Oh, Mr. Jesse, did you have anything you wanted to add?
No.
Okay. The second piece of information. Ooh, okay. I see this person and I don't want to butcher your name. Welcome.
Yes, welcome.
Conte? I don't want to butcher the name, but welcome. Okay. On LinkedIn, friend of the pod, Miss wrong one. Hold up. Oh, somebody sent me. Okay. Miss Marciana Jones, who is a physician coding educator, wanted to give everybody a list of medical coding recruiters. So if you were looking for a job, she curated an entire list of, or a colleague of hers created and curated an entire list of medical recruiters, and they're from all over. There's some with risk adjustment opportunities. There's some with just your regular medical coding, some with auditing, some with billing, all over the place. So I will also copy this list and post it in our Patreon for all of my folks. And I mean, it's their direct information. So not only do you have their name, the organization that they're with, their email address, and phone number if you want to call them and get some information. And they're from all over. So it's about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's probably about 30 of these folks on here. So
Oh wow.
yeah. It's a whole thing. So I will definitely make sure that you all have that information. Mr. Jesse, did you have any church accounts?
No,
No?
because I think what I have is better for the meeting after the meeting.
Yes, sir. Hey, Miss Vicky. Welcome. Okay.
Good morning, Vicky.
All right. Well, let's get to even though I'm still feeling that. Okay. Let's get to the getting. So, did we call it? That's all I got. Did we call it? Let the tea spilling begin. Did we call it?
Yes, we
Did we call
did.
it? Now, for those who may not be aware, we talked about this Change Healthcare breach of information, ransom, hack, all of the things. We talked about this. In our last meeting where I think Mr. Jesse said, it's a little quiet. We heard a whole bunch of stuff early on, and then we heard nothing. It went blank and it went silent. Well, lo and behold, this week, and I don't know if they was trying to be funny because they did it during Hip Week. I don't know if there is some connection in there. And let me just say this, because every time I read our title and stuff, we have nothing to do with it. Just because we called it don't mean we know anything about these people and what's going on with those who hack Change Healthcare. We don't know them. We don't know them at all. But anyway, so first let's talk a little bit about the Change Healthcare hack and how it has affected patient care. So in Becker's Health IT, Giles Bruce wrote an article that talked about various. He questioned or did a poll from various folks, trying to get a pulse on how this affected them or impacted them financially. And it says, but then there are other examples of how, I guess it's still considered technically financially if you look at it, but how it impacted not only the systems and not only the providers, but the patients as well. So it says they've gotten a lot of attention, and they wanted to just talk about how the patients have been harmed as well. One, it has continued to interrupt patient care, not only from the revenue cycle perspective, but patients are unable to get their prescriptions filled. Patients have been forced to pay out-of-pocket prices. Patients with complex conditions and costly medications like chemotherapy treatments are searching for a way to pay for their medications. And also the inability for patients to use medication coupons. So, Chime, which is the College of Healthcare Information Management Executives, did a survey of its membership, which includes chief information officers of healthcare systems and then other senior IT leaders, and just wanted to know how much of an impact did the Change cyber incident have on any patient care. 40% said it was somewhat impacted, 25% said moderately impacted, 15% said very significantly impacted, 13 said no impact, and 5% said extremely impacted. They said that these responses underscore the complex consequences of the incident, ranging from minor disruptions to critical delays and impact on patient care. Because patient care is at the heart of each of our members' core mission, even one member reporting that this incident impacted patient care is unacceptable. Um, and they are suggesting to protect patients from cyber attacks in the future, Congress should increase cybersecurity funding for small and under-resourced health systems, provide financial support to implement HHS's cyber performance goals, and ensure payers and third-party vendors share liability with healthcare providers after breaches. All right, Mr. Jesse, you want to comment on that one?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I just think that with all that's going on, I really think that it should be public information how these breaches happen, because we need to start putting a name on it. Like, where was the leak?
Mm-hmm.
And because if people knew where the leaks were, then you can prevent it. It's too, it's they're not being completely transparent, and it's not helpful to anybody, because these breaches are going to continue to occur until they really address the issue. And my spidey senses are saying it is because these people have outsourced, and not everybody has the same stringent cybersecurity rules, and it's easy, they find points of entry that are easy to access, and they do, and then they're in, and they wreak the havoc that they wreak.
Mm. Yeah, this has been off the chain. So I got two more articles. Um, Let me see, make sure. Oh wait, there's a comment. She said, "Well, allegedly." So one of the articles said something about where is that one? They had to walk back. Well, I'll look at this one. So the first one says hackers. This is also in Becker's Health IT. Becker's was all over this. It said hackers leak Change Healthcare contracts and patient data. So, um, it said hackers leaked the contracts and patient records purportedly stolen in the Change Healthcare cyber attack. And this was reported from TechCrunch. This is also from Giles Bruce, and I also have more on what was said in the TechCrunch article as well. So it says a ransomware group, Ransom Hub, posted files on its dark web leak site on April 15th, comprising personal and protected health information on patients whose data was taken in the Change Healthcare attack, according to the story in TechCrunch. The files also included contracts and agreements between Change and its clients, and it marked the first time hackers have actually posted the data from the cyber attack. It says the Ransom Hub claims to have 4 terabytes of data pilfered from the United Health Group subsidiary and is demanding an undisclosed amount of money in return for not selling the information. Despite Change Healthcare reportedly, allegedly, already having paid another criminal gang $22 million in ransom. Change took IT systems offline after the cyber attack of February 21st, leading to a widespread claims processing delays across the U.S. They said they are working with law enforcement and outside experts to investigate claims posted online to understand the extent of potentially impacted data. Um, it says our investigation remains active and ongoing. Cybersecurity experts say that the quote double extortion, because now they're coming back, they done circled around and double back attempt shows the danger of forking over ransom to hackers. Remember, Change Healthcare reportedly paid off the Black Cat Alpha V ransomware group, which was supposedly the initial ringleader. And we'll talk a little bit more about that in the next article. But that gang disappeared. Why? While stiffing its affiliates that helped pull off the hack and still had the data. So the payment of a ransom doesn't guarantee the cyber criminal will decrypt a victim's files or reinstate access to their systems. This is that was from Darren Guccione, who is the co-founder and CEO of a cybersecurity firm. He says they are criminals, and as such, they cannot be trusted. And so the Tech Crunch article by Zach Whitaker goes a little more into detail. He says that, again, the extortion group has published the new information. They said different documents, including billing files, insurance records, and medical information, and also the contracts and agreements between Change Healthcare and its partners. Ransom Hub threatened to sell the data to the highest bidder unless Change Healthcare pays a ransom. It says for Change Healthcare, there's another complication. This is the second group to demand a ransom payment to prevent the release of stolen patient data in as many months. Again, they're going on the quote about the spokesperson from United Health Group about the investigation being ongoing. So the Russian-based ransomware gang called AlphaV took credit for the Change Healthcare data theft. Then in early March, AlphaV suddenly disappeared, along with a $22 million ransom payment that Change Healthcare allegedly paid to prevent the public release of public data. An affiliate, or an AlphaV affiliate, essentially a contractor who earns a commission on the cyber attacks they launched using the gang's malware, went public claiming to have carried out the data theft of Change Healthcare. But that the main AlphaV Black Cat crew sniffed them out of their portion of the ransom payment and vanished with the lot. The contractor said the millions of patients' data was still with them. So now Ransom Hub says we have the data and not AlphaV. Wired, which first reported the second group's extortion effort on Friday, cited Ransom Hub as saying it was associated with the affiliate that still had the data. United Health previously declined to say whether it paid the hackers ransom, nor did it say how much data was stolen in the cyber attack. They didn't say it for terabytes of information. The healthcare giant said in a statement on March 27 that it obtained a data set, quote, safe for us to access and analyze, end quote, which the company obtained in exchange for the ransom payment. Now, okay, I'm about to go in. Hold on. TechCrunch learned from a source within a knowledge of the ongoing incident. UHG said it was, quote, prioritizing the review of data that we believe would likely have health information, personally identifiable information, claims, and eligibility or financial information, end quote. Somewhere I saw, it wasn't in either one of these just now. Somewhere I saw where Change or United Healthcare said initially that where this came from, and then they had to walk it back like, oh no, um it didn't come from them. I saw that in some article, and I thought I had the article posted in here, but it wasn't. But anyway, so if you didn't make the ransom payment but you got something, the math ain't math. And make that make sense to me. I don't understand. It's a whole bunch of stuff going on. I see y'all buzzing in the comments. Mr. Jesse, you can go ahead while I look at them.
No, let's get into the comments.
So Tamara said, well, allegedly something shady is definitely going on. Yes. I was on a webinar yesterday and the speaker mentioned that was basically like a setup or something with UHC and Optum. She mentioned it. All right. It's definitely going to get very messy before it's all said and done. Absolutely. Carolyn said these hackers all made copies of the data and will sell it. They collect the ransom and still sell the information. Yep, that's what they do. That's what they do. And so the thing was they told them not to. I think they were advised not to pay this ransom, but they thought they were going to do something anyway and be free and clear and got this little file. Everybody know. Everybody make backups and copies and stuff. Who don't? Everybody know. Why didn't they?
What I find funny is how the two hacker groups are beefing. And it just reminds me, like my mother used to always say, there's no honor amongst thieves.
There is none. And like dude said, they all criminals. So what were you thinking? What were you thinking? And they're like, oh, I'm going to show you. You going to take the money and run? Or I'm going to show you. And unfortunately, the patients are once again in jeopardy and having being impacted around this. The providers are still in a lot of cases not getting reimbursed appropriately. The government has had to step in. If they've had to step in and kind of put together some type of contingency in place in order for the folks to get paid. It's like an emergency. It's like what happens when there's a major disaster. They put together an emergency relief fund, and so they put together some sort of emergency relief to allow these providers to receive compensation for stuff they got. It's just a whole nasty mess. Carolyn said, I think that's a PR story. The hackers aren't beefing, they're celebrating together. Uh-oh. That's a whole other spin. Like, let's keep getting, if they paying, let's get all we can get. We're going to keep getting it. Hit them.
So Carolyn might be on to something.
Carolyn might be on to something. He said these companies cut corners on their cybersecurity, and they do, and it is horrible. And Mr. Jesse, to your point, and we talked about that in one of our sessions. She's laughing. Offshoring, so not necessarily outsourcing, but offshoring. And we all know, and we've discussed several times, once that stuff is out of our borders, we don't have no control over that. I mean, you would hope that the people that you're dealing with were ethical and would do the right thing, but at the end of the day, what can you do? But then I learned so much more about that, because while these companies think that their offshoring is a good idea, there are a lot of state laws. So you got some federal laws that's kind of loosey goosey. You got some state laws that say absolutely not. So I'm just waiting to see what the state's gonna do with these businesses who are registered in these states who have very, very restrictive. We went through 14 cases of 14 states that are very restrictive, and it's like absolutely nothing. No IT, no, absolutely nothing can be offshore from these. And some of them were like, not only folks think, India or Middle Eastern countries, offshoring also includes Canada and Mexico, even though they are connected to the United States. They are offshoring as well. Um, it was a wonderful session. It really was. So I'm waiting to see what the states gonna do when they gonna pull their big guns out and shut all
But
this stuff down.
I wonder, I'm sure, like, because there are certain medical hubs, and I'm sure those companies have probably a while. I would assume that they have looked into it before
I hope
they
so.
have their headquarters, because like the first state that comes to mind is Tennessee. There are a ton of healthcare organizations that are headquartered in Tennessee.
Uh-huh. A whole bunch of them. So much so is that we did a service project down there, based on donations that they were getting from these healthcare organizations with equipment and stuff, which was good. It was a good time had by all. He said we are never prepared for anything until the bottom falls out. Absolutely. I think there's more to come. Um, I think they're just being made an example right now. I think others may need to tighten up. um, because just as easy as it was to get this information without the proper controls in place and monitoring and all of the things, um, there's another change healthcare in the making.
But see, Change Healthcare kind of brought this on themselves, because not only do they have a lot of, in my opinion, unscrupulous practices. And for number one, like they don't they don't pay people appropriately.
Oh
And
Lord, my tea is not hot enough. Yes,
you
sir.
know
Go ahead.
and I just think the worst thing to do in anything medical coding related, HIM related, is to pay people per chart. I think that is a recipe for disaster, just in for all kinds of reasons. Because when people hire per chart, they hire anybody because they need bodies.
Mm,
And if it's just, there's no incentive, because the incentive is, well, you'll be productive because you'll do XYZ. But these are the same people. They also don't provide equipment. You use your personal equipment. So if your Gmail downloads a virus, or some kind of, or malware, and you log in, whether you're in the VPN or not, you're in. And this is, I'm almost sure that that's how it happened.
mm.
So it's just, you can't cut corners, and you have to have equipment. You have to have trained people, because, like I told you, at my job, just the other, like, they send us fake spam every week, and if you fail 3 in a year, they terminate you. So there's not enough preemptive protection on the local end. You can have all these fancy firewalls and all that, but it's always the end user that
That is the
provides,
one that's yeah,
right,
yeah,
that provides the access.
yep.
So I'm not even a cybersecurity expert, but I know that much. I just don't, I don't get it. But, and then I also wanted to say that some was it Tamara who talked about Optum and United Health?
Mm-hmm.
Listen, can I tell you, Optum is trying to recoup some money, because me and Optum are battling. We are in the thick of it,
Uh-oh.
because I basically overpaid for the books for my contract next month. So they told me repeatedly it was 32 people. I paid for 32 ICD-10 CM and 32 ICD-10 PCS books. When they finally sent me the list, because they were getting close to the point, Optimus said, this offers, well, not offer, but this quote is only good for 30 days.
Right.
It was getting close to the end of the 30. So I'm like, because I was waiting for them to send me the final list of the email so I could send it to Optum so they can send the people their access. So I go ahead and pay. When they finally send me the list, it's less people. So I try to contact Optum. And now mind you, I have both invoices. I have clear documentation that they charged my credit card. Thank God it was an American Express.
Thank
So
God.
yeah. And I'm like, so they were like, well, can you send us proof of the charge? And it can't say pending. I'm like, listen, it's not pending because it's right there on in my account. Big
Somebody done gone shopping.
right. So I screenshot, sent them the information. First, so I gave them a couple of days. First, I called. They said they never got it. I'm like, okay, here we go. So then I speak to somebody, and then he was like, well, I can help you, and if you don't hear back, you can check your account and call me. And like it was like 2 or 3 days later, I call. He says he's at lunch. So he called. Allegedly, he says he called. He tried to call me back. He sends me an email telling me that I was not charged. I was not overcharged because I never submitted the updated invoice for that number of books. I'm like, I'm like, are you kidding? These people have their books. You were on the list. No company is going to provide any product if you don't pay for it.
Exactly.
So you got your money. So I was like, oh, I said, I'm not going back and forth with you. I called American Express, and that money is credited back to my account. I sent them everything I had, every email correspondence, everything.
Wow.
You're not going to recoup your loss on me.
I know
And
that's
look, and it's $1,100. No way.
Yo, they don't even know who they even messing with. They have no idea. Vicky, you are absolutely correct. The patients are losing in the end as usual. Bad healthcare services plus their information taken to the dark web. Yes, 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 yes. She said, "Get them, get them." So I want to circle back to something you said before about paying per chart being a recipe for a disaster. So, and you said there's no incentive for that. What manner of compensation would you think incentivizes? As well, and the reason why I'm asking, especially if they're given um a productivity number, like they had to have so many charts done per hour.
Okay, it should be an hourly rate, and the productivity rate should be based on accuracy and not quantity. Because, for instance, like when I started in risk adjustment back in 2014, 2015. Well, actually, I
Mm-hmm.
started in 2014,
Mm-hmm.
but the productivity was 3 charts an hour.
Mm-hmm.
Now in 2024, it has gone to like 5 to 6 charts per hour. There's no way. If you want it to be accurate,
Correct.
which is what this work is. It's about accuracy.
Correct.
And what happens is then people become, well, I have to make a certain amount. So whether the chart is coded correctly or not, they coded the chart. And then of course they do have productivity, I mean they do have accuracy, like they'll get audited, but that doesn't really, because then what happens is then if you get rid of people, then you have this constant cycle of bringing people in, which they do.
Which
And
is a mess because then it's
exactly.
yeah, good
And then
lord.
it's just this constant opening yourself up to new people, new systems, and this is how it all gets started. Because I see it, because like the people who at my job, the people who are offshore, they get paid per chart and their work reflects it. Like they don't read because they don't have time to read.
Well,
I,
do the people on the states read?
I mean, well,
That ain't an offshoring problem.
but better than them. I mean, because when I tell you, like not guaranteed, if they either code exactly what I coded, or they have something different, and it's always some foolishness.
Mm.
It's just the whole thing needs to be redone, and they need to. I understand that American healthcare is for profit. I get that, and there's enough money to be made legitimately, but now it's just greed, and all of this is because of greed. They want it all.
Well, there were lots of discussions about um, some of these healthcare entities and organizations, and unfortunately, a lot of them have not rebounded from COVID. Um, some of them, rightfully so, to your point, the greed is there. Others, they just trying to rob Peter to pay Paul. They just trying to do whatever, trying to make what they can do, make that dime out of a nickel. It's it's a mess. It's a whole mess. Um, and you're absolutely right. There has to be some sort of way to uh revamp this and I think we even talked about it. It may not even be in our lifetime, but somebody needs to take a stance and strategically figure out all the players, all the parties, everything that needs to happen, and pivot and adjust appropriately,
because
or it's
because
gonna be
right now,
worse.
because right now, at the end of the day, everybody in healthcare is unhappy on all levels, in all departments. The only people who are happy are the shareholders,
Mm,
and there's something wrong with that.
I'm happy with my little stock that I got. No, kidding. You're absolutely correct. You're absolutely correct. Ah, yeah. And again, our patients, who is our primary customer, is getting the shaft into the stick. It's horrible. It's horrible.
But as long as you have people, as long as you have organizations like Actis, like AHIMA, like AAPC, who have the power to influence and create change, as long as they continue to sit on the sideline and come up with these, cutesy rootsy, insignificant articles and insignificant initiatives, nothing's ever going to change.
Oh my God, my tea is not hot enough.
It's the truth. Like, they don't do anything. Like they
Their
don't provide
advocacy is
any
is
value. They don't
is
have
not good.
not good, non-existent.
Not for
What
their
advocacy?
members, not for their
Exactly.
profession.
And not
No.
exactly not for their profession. They should be like this. No, none of this is how it needs to be. This is what you need to do. And they need to bring awareness, because if they have nationwide membership,
Hmm.
everybody has a senator, everybody has Congress people, everybody.
She said, I'm surprised AAPC isn't charging us to log on to the website.
Well, they
That may
do.
be
It's
next.
it's called membership. They do. You already pay for it.
Oh Lord. Yeah. It's crazy. It's crazy out here in these healthcare streets.
It really
Um,
is. And I know, like, I know I do. I clown doctors every time I get a chance about this compassionate sacrifice. But honestly, I feel for them. I really do,
I do
because,
too.
like, I was talking at work, and I'm like, you know, they get hit from all angles about everything.
Everything.
And then what people don't realize is certain payers require different documentation for the exact same condition.
Yep. Yep.
That's a lot.
It's a lot. But the thing is, one, trying to find the happy medium, staying the course with like your clinical indicators, or understanding what should be documented and being consistent in that documentation where you meet whomever. We used to always say, you go with the strongest, the stringent, the most stringent um payer, because if you hit the one that's going to tell you you can't cross this and can't cross that, then you have others who are more forgiving in what they allow. You encompass them all. Medicare used to be the most stringent of all of them, paying the less dollars, and we would always say, well, what does Medicare say? Whenever in doubt, what does Medicare say? And we had, which is different, which I think, I don't know if it's good or bad. Never would we encourage encourage is a bad word. Never would we impress upon providers the insurance information. Do you take care of your patient? At the end of the day, take care of your patient. Focus on taking care of that patient and documenting whatever it is. You don't need to worry about, well, who's doing this as far as the billing and payer, and no, because at that point you thinking about the wrong thing. Your focus is on the wrong thing, and that could get messy. And to your job is to care for patients, not to make sure that you're putting everything down that you need to put down in order to get paid a certain amount. That ain't your job. Your job is to care for the patient, and that's where your focus needs to be. um I think opening up this information is also part of our problem. Because back in the day, they were oblivious. As long as they got their money, they were happy. As long as they got their, they saw the money coming in or whatever. They didn't have to know XYZ. Now, we do have to kind of bring in the healthcare payer. Because rules has changed, but you put people in place to handle that. Again, the provider needs to focus on providing that health care to the patients. You would have happier patients that way. You would have whatever. I know oftentimes patients will come to providers and be like, well, this bill says so and so and so, which will then, the provider will feel compelled to make sure that they're answering their questions or doing what they need to do, or what did this say, or what do I need to do? And but at some point you don't know. So give that to the people that you pay and entrusted to have the information that they need in order to get your claims paid. That's what you hired these people for. Um, I don't know. I just think it's too many folks in the pot. Some folks don't know what's cooking in that pot. They need to keep their hand. They need to be out the kitchen, not even in the pot. They just need to be completely gone in the living room, the great room, somewhere, gone somewhere, and take a seat.
Well, the problem is they they have the same mentality that ruined commercial business. The same people are the same people who are ruining healthcare, because they bring in all this private equity. They bring in all these people who know how to maximize. And when you say maximize, you cut corners with employees, you cut corners with um, requirements, you do all these things to maximize profit, but only to the benefit of the bottom line, not to the benefit of your core group, which are your patients.
Mm-hmm.
And this is why people are so dissatisfied with healthcare, because you have all these people in suits who have MBAs who don't know jack about healthcare. All they do is crunch the numbers. Well, if you cut here, well, if you cut the staff here, you can increase this, this profit by X. And if you do this, you can increase it by Y. Then together you'll have, you know, $10 billion in profit.
Mm.
Like, there's no way in the world you have a healthcare company that should be making anything that starts with a B,
Mm.
because all that means is that you are not taking care of your patients. That's what
Mm-hmm.
that really means.
Mm-hmm. And funny you mentioned that, because one of my very, very favorite sessions at the HCCA CI is when we have the government, CMS, HHS, this year we had my friend from the Office of Civil Rights there again. You know, she does a great talk about their what they're looking at. Two main hot topics. They even had tracks here to for folks was AI and private equity firms. And they about to pull the wool out from under all of this. And it's going to be very, very, very interesting. I mean, there was several sessions um that kind of looked at, particularly from a compliance perspective, you know, how do we get in this and make sure um what's being said or what's being done is accurate. um and and that folks understand the risks of some of these recommendations, um and all of the things. So it's gonna be interesting to see how the government plays out and looking at, because apparently they're sprouting up like weeds out here in
Mhm.
these streets. Like every system has connected with some sort of private equity organization. So, and then they also talked about it was somebody else's. I have to look at that slide, but they were talking about billing specialists and consultants and all of this in the revenue cycle. I said, oh, everybody about to get it. If your stuff ain't right, you about to get it. You better make sure you know what you know what you know, and don't speak on it if you don't. So it's
And
gonna be very
all of this says there's opportunity for entrepreneurs,
say it.
because I'm telling you, knowledge is king. Because there's a whole lot of people out here who purport to know things, but they really don't. And when
Mm.
you know, capitalize on it. And then I also want to say that, I'm not saying that there aren't any people in healthcare who aren't trying to do the right thing, and or even in HIM, who are not saying the right things. But we are in a culture where if you want to speak truth to power, you become the problem and they get rid of you. So they find the people who go along with the foolishness. And the
Mm-hmm.
people who don't, the people like me, the people like you, the people who know what should be, they get forced out. And this is why it is what it is. Because I think that personally, I think that the government should impose way harsher penalties on these companies when they do what they do. And I think that it should become criminal, and they should go. You shouldn't be able to pay your way out of
Pay
it.
your way out. Yep.
You need to pay, plus you need to be making license plates for a good 6 years.
Right. Right. Ooh. To your point, there's all sorts of opportunities. Um, Making sure you stay informed, educated, continuous learning, knowledge, all of the things. Because even and remember, I always talked about us knowing the why, knowing the what's behind some of the things that we do. This right here is crucial in understanding how you need to move, how you need to pivot. Like what is the ethical way in which to do the job that you are now tasked to do? Because you got over here, you got a provider, even in a small organization, you got a provider over here barking at you, "Oh, we got to do this. I need you to do this. I need you to do that." Is that right? Is that ethical? Is the, what protections do you have against that? Because over here, you got a whole family that need to eat and need shelter. And so you got to do what you got to do. But how do you protect yourself in an environment like that? Also, even in a larger organization, you know, you still have managers, directors, folks who will come at you with, well, this is what our policy states, and right, wrong, or indifferent, um, if that is their policy, and again you see something that is not jiving with how you have been taught to provide the services that you provide and your ethical standards and your ethical guidelines, then you need to also make sure you're having some documentation and documenting, supporting the reason why you did what you did. Because they told me they had a policy and I had to follow this policy, da 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 da. And I spoke to so and so and so on such and such a date at such and such a time about da 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 da. Documentation is key to all of it, and making sure you have that. And don't leave your documentation there in the office. Take your documentation home. And no. If you need a copy there in the office, but make sure there's a copy somewhere else. I mean, you have to protect yourselves at all costs. Because again, as we've mentioned, they got these private equity firms coming in and saying, oh, well, wait a minute, they could do this better. So just get rid of all 20 of these folks and you could put 2, 3 for some oversight and let AI take over and do XYZ. You got all kinds of crazy foolishness is happening out here. So you have to make sure that you're protecting yourself, you're staying informed, you're staying knowledgeable, and push come to shove, you're creating additional opportunities for yourself and others.
Because people are so worried about AI, and I think that it's too much hype. I think it's overkill, because when it comes to HIM, nobody has anything to worry about with AI. Because when I tell you what they want AI to do, they are a good 10, 15 years away.
It's trash.
Because when I tell you what AI is going to do, is going to increase the amount of money that CMS hits these people in their pockets for. That's what they're going to do. You're going to see overpayments go from 20 billion to like 40
to
billion.
Trillions.
It's because I'm telling you, it's not that girl that people think it is. No. She
missing some things.
Oh.
She missing some things.
No.
That grass ain't greener.
She ain't ready to hit
some patches in there and some weeds.
Yeah. She ain't ready to hit the block just yet. Put that golden May skirt back up. You ain't ready for the beat. But people need to, but people read and
they ready to pimp her out, but she ain't ready.
Oh no.
She ain't ready. She needs a few more training courses.
Yes. Yes.
Oh
She still got training wheels on. And they trying to make her a 10 speed. No.
Oh my goodness. You see, once we get started, it's crazy. It's foolishness. Oh my God. Oh, definitely. Wow. Okay. Well, we are at the top of the hour. I think this was a good session. Thank you all for joining the Saturday morning tea or checking out the replay. Let me ask you, was the tea spilled today? If the tea was spilled, put in a teacup in the comments. Put the teacups in the comments. Am I missing something? Somebody?
No, go ahead.
Okay.
Vicky said the tea is spicy today.
Oh, it was spicy. All right. Uh-oh. Some of that chai tea. All right. That's one of my favorites. If this message was valuable for you, help us share this message with others by sharing the video, subscribing to the channel, liking it, all of the things to help us get this information out to the mass. Folks need to know this stuff. So be sure to follow us for more information on all things health information, compliance, revenue cycle, medical coding, entrepreneurship, all of the things. And as you leave, don't forget to hit the thumbs up or like button. Also, check out the Coding Nurse channel on YouTube, where he provides all kinds of gems as well. Again, this has been a great session today. Mr. Jesse, do you have any final closing thoughts or words?
No, I just, as always, I enjoyed it. And what I enjoyed most today was I enjoyed the full engagement in the chat. I'm really glad.
I love it. Everybody talking. Look, I love our community. I swear I do. I love it. Again, thank you all for joining. And remember, be safe, be kind, and don't wish for it, work for it. Oh, I forgot to tell people the meeting after the meeting
Yeah.
at 10:15. It totally went my way. If you're interested in joining us in the meeting after the meeting and being part of the Tea Sippers Patreon, then check out the link in our description box. I can also show. See, I wasn't prepared, was I? No. There we go. Our Patreon, where you get insider tips, expert Q&A sessions. We have a full resource library where we have tangible documents that you can use and walk away with, templates, all of the things, also other exclusive content and networking opportunities. So, oh, tasty tea, piping hot, spicy. I love it. Yeah. um, so join us at 10:15 Eastern Standard Time, where we will get into the meeting after the meeting. All right, all right. So again, as I was saying, um, thank you all for joining. Be safe, be kind, and don't wish for it, work for it. Until next time, take care and talk to you soon.
Everybody.